did any point in time, right, both of you growing up, because you guys went to the same schools, the same class, right, meet the same girls. Have you guys liked the same girl before?
Yeah. There was once when we were like, I think it was standard 2 or something like that. I remember there was one girl.
Oh, really?
Coincidentally, we liked the same girl.
How do you guys know that you like the same girl? You guys talk about it at night? Heart to
Yeah,
heart talk,
and then it's like, he liked this girl, and I happened to like, this girl is also quite chill.
Of course, if the girl Scarlett Johansson, all three of us will like lah. What are you joking? Sure, all of us will like the same girl lah. If it's Scarlett Johansson, yeah.
This is Andrian.
And this is Ray. Welcome to the Talk Live podcast.
Every 2 weeks, we'll invite a new guest and
In every session, we'll dig into their life, relationships, and perspectives.
one question at a time.
Let's talk live!
Yay.
Welcome to the Talk Loud podcast. This is your host, Ray, and this is part 2 with Eddie and Alden. And if you're watching YouTube, you might have known, or if you listen to part 1, Eddie and Alden, really good friends, good buddies, childhood friend. I think we've known each other for more than 20 years now. Yeah, it also shows our age. Yeah, so we're definitely more than 20 years old. Yeah, we're 21. Yeah, but anyways, I think part 1 we really covered pretty deep, but we can actually go deeper. Yeah, maybe get you guys on. But part 1 was all about entrepreneurship, the journey, where they're at, and a lot of different life hacks on entrepreneurship. Part 2 is gonna be more casual, more fun, because why I decided to get you guys and cover this topic, because it's also very interesting, right? You guys were born as identical twins. You guys pretty much grew up together in the same room, go to the same schools. Do you guys think the same way and not? Yeah. So I think in this episode, we really want to focus more about brotherhood. It's not just, I think that the interesting aspect is you guys were identical twins. So the assumption is maybe the brotherhood is even stronger. But I think a lot of people can relate to it, right? Whether if you have siblings or don't have siblings, I think this kind of relationship with family members, or if you're a single child, maybe a really, really good friend in another family. So I hope we can, deep dive and cover, different perspectives and mindset of you guys from brotherhood perspective. So let's kick things off with, a few quick questions, right? So I've listed down some, some of them are quite, cheesy, nothing. Yeah, but it's just for our audience to get a better understanding of you guys. Yeah. So question number 1, yeah. So for both of you guys, do you guys have the same favorite color?
No.
Definitely not.
So myth number 1, we already so different people, whether they're identical twins, they all have different preference. So this is actually just something getting out of the way. But I think what's more interesting is okay, have you both ever...
Okay.
That's pretty lame lah, yeah. This one is gonna more tease, so who's the... Out of both of you, who do you think is the taller one?
Of course him lah, he's a taller one.
Okay. And you're taller in bed lah, right?
When depends which part you are measuring, Yeah.
And I think just last quick question.
Actually, I really don't know. It's so many years we never measure. We
never
once measured. You never.
Who measures this, man? Come on.
But are you
Let
guys
alone your brothers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you guys are twins. I don't know. Yeah.
No, we
you guys
don't.
might think
No,
differently.
Like you got go measure with your brother.
No, we don't. Okay.
I think growing up, you sort of see, your siblings different. Yeah. Inside and outside, right? Yeah. But I think physically, whatever, right? Doesn't matter. Yeah. It's sort of
we don't see the inside. Okay.
And maybe when we were younger, this what 7, 6, and max. No, other than that, no more already.
The last question I wanted to ask is okay, did any point in time, right, both of you growing up, because you guys went to the same schools, the same class, right, meet the same girls, have you guys liked the same girl before?
Yeah. There was once when we were I think it was standard 2 or something like that. I remember there was one girl.
Oh, really?
Coincidentally, we liked the same girl.
How do you guys know that you like the same girl? You guys talk about it at night? Heart to
Yeah,
heart talk,
and then it's he liked this girl, and I happened to this girl is also quite chill.
Of course, if the girl Scarlett Johansson, all three of us will like lah. What are you joking? Sure, all of us will like the same girl lah. If it's Scarlett Johansson, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think hopefully, I think those questions are quite molul lah. I mean not how to say molul in English, quite no substance, right? But hopefully it gives some understanding of who they are as a person, and the relationship that we've had. Basically, you talk crap or anything, they're willing to go through crap with you, and those are really good friends. those friends that are willing to do shit together. Those are really good
Yeah,
friends.
yes.
So diving in the topic of brotherhood, can both of you describe growing up? What was your relationship as twins, and stuff? So it's very free flow. Just briefly talk about growing up as twins. Was there what was the whole experience like? Yeah.
Okay. Well, both me and Addie, right? We are basically on the outside. We are actually always being compared to, because both of us are twins. They always say, oh, which one taller, which one smarter, which one have more bigger muscles, which one can run faster. So we've always been in competition with one another. That's like outside lah. But for inside, personally, me and Eddie, I guess when I look in the mirror, I don't see myself actually. I see Eddie. Well, we are twins anyways. So when I see myself, I always see Eddie himself. So I always think about not just me, myself, I always think about him as well, because basically as a twin, you always see two in one lah, honestly. So that's how we are like growing up. Even right now, so we don't see each other almost every single day. I still have the same thought as well. When I see myself in the mirror, I don't see myself alone, I see Eddie as well. So I mean, that's what it is lah.
Okay. And yeah, I think Alden, you mentioned about siblings kind of rivalry, right?
You dial that by 100 if you
Yeah,
have twins.
Okay. Okay.
Dial that by 100.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. You walk in the room, you say, wow, which one taller already, or this one taller already, or what is that more leng zai?
Yeah, immediately. If you ever think about rivalry, right, you will never see a rivalry when you are twins. Right, the rivalry there is way much more. Yeah, I see twins as most of the time there's only just one or two ways. Either that they are so alike that they are inseparable, that they like the same thing, they do the same thing, or the total opposite happens. Which in the case where me and Alden is like, the way we think is a bit different. Hence, a lot of people want to, they compare quite a lot from our parents, from our friends. It happens all the time. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a very interesting perspective, right? Like, I agree. Some twins look alike. They sort of have the same style and all. Yeah. And yeah, in terms of the thoughts, also quite similar. And sometimes, yeah, it's actually a world of difference. Yeah. But I didn't really think of you guys like being so different. Like what Alden said, like, oh, when he see in the mirror, he also see you. As a friend, I was like, wow, buy one, free one, man. Like literally, like take a photocopy machine. Yeah. But, growing down the road, of like getting to know you guys each other is like, yeah, other than having when you hang out with one you always get the other one, it's more like how should I say, like it's really connecting with each of you guys at different level. Like at the end of the day, like as a friend there are differences from Alden. So just to give more backstory and context, right? So Addie and Alden, identical twins, and come from a family of 3 siblings, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so I think it's actually very similar to myself. Yeah, I also have like an older brother, younger sister. Yeah, for theirs it's like an elder sister. And out of the 2 of them, right, Alden is the older one by, I don't know, 1 minute.
3 seconds.
Or 3 seconds. Okay. Yeah, 3 seconds. So I think like growing up, like when I, them as friends, Alden was more like the more mature one first, I would say. Yeah, and Eddie is the one that's more wild, have crazy ideas here and there. And Alden is the one that's like the most calm, steady. Yeah.
Cause my elder brother, anything kena blame way.
Yeah.
This one, I had to pick up my own shit and his shit, He only need to pick up his shit. Sometimes he don't need to pick up, I pick up for him.
Yeah. But basically, both of them were very, how should I say, like, naughty. You
Of
guys were
course.
naughty kids, for
Of
sure.
course.
You were too, okay?
Arguable, yeah. But I think we all sort of refine ourselves, more aware of how, but we never regret what we've done in the past, right?
Dude, how to have fun when you're not naughty when you're younger,
Yeah.
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 You can't have fun when you're not naughty, eh? I mean, let's be honest, eh?
Yeah. And yeah, touching more on the rivalry, right? Because you said like in 100x like normal sibling rivalry, right? How do you guys deal with that? Can you give like a specific example on growing up with this, and how both of you decided that you guys should live with it? You guys are brothers in the end, right? Blood is thicker than water.
Yeah.
And no matter whatever tough times that you guys go through, you guys basically should not be separable, and you guys should go through together. Which I know that you guys have went through that process, because you guys have done a lot of amazing things together. Suffered a lot together too.
Yep.
Right? I'm not sure how much you all want to share, but I think Eddie and Alden didn't really go through like the smoothest childhood process. Yeah. And me being as a friend, I see them really struggle at times. Got kicked out the house. That kind. Yeah, I mean now it's like those people listening on the podcast, yeah, these kind of things really happens, and if it happens to your friends and stuff, just put an extra effort to, just give them support. That might not be a way for you to, support them directly financially, but at least from an emotional standpoint, don't make them feel like they're so different. And you don't have to pity them so much, but just be there for them. Yeah. So I just really wanted to understand, as rivals.
I'm gonna be very real here.
And probably a bit sentimental too. Yeah. But it's something very personal that I think like a lot of people can benefit if they really hear, how you guys went through, I know, like when Eddie say 100x and Alden say, yeah, I agree. It's like you guys really hate each other, that kind. But I also want to prove to the point, and I know that you guys went through that. Yeah, you guys really inseparable.
You wanna
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of rivalry, for myself, you always have to pick your battles. So Eddie can draw really well. I can't draw. At one point, I say, screw it, I'm not gonna draw. Let him be the artist. I'll be something else, right? And also the other things that we can't actually escape. For example, who is smarter and whatnot, right? Both also wants to be as smart as possible. Well, those are the things I would say you just have to live and let live lah. You are good at one thing, he's good at another thing, but if both of us are good at one thing, I guess we just overlook ourselves, like, you know what, it's okay, it doesn't matter if I'm good or he good, it doesn't matter really. So live and let live law, I will say that as in terms of rivalry. But yes, people will still judge, people will still say who get more A's in exam, who had more girls. Yeah. So
what about the Ace? Ace is you, right? Or
Ace,
Eddie.
See?
I don't know. I thought it's Alden, huh?
Yeah,
right.
definitely Alden.
See, he's doing it.
There you go.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Right. So
Alden.
yeah, it's me. I get more A's. He's the dumber one. But yeah. So as you guys can see, the rivalry starts.
Only, yeah.
Academically. I don't think so. See? Alright. So the rivalry, it never stops as a twin, you see, because every single thing that people talk about is about which one is comparison. Every single thing we when we walk through the door is always a comparison between one another. Most 90% of conversation between me and Eddie with someone outsider when I first met us is about comparison. Who do what, who do that better and whatnot and that. So it comes to a point where you know what is it's okay to be similar. It's okay to be different as well. I guess what makes us particularly unique is that I know things that Eddie likes, he knows things that I likes, and things that we don't like as well. So as all family members and including friends and even strangers, you just have to respect one another boundaries. Then things will go smooth lah, I would say.
He talked about boundaries. Let's talk about them.
Oh, let's validate that, right?
Okay, you want to go that level.
Because he's like, my twin. He knows exactly what pisses me off, and he will just deliberately on that, okay?
Add salt to the wound, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And not just add, like press on it, right?
Exactly.
Same as him also. Press the salt, and then maybe add sand some more. And squeeze the wound some more. Blood come out.
But I think one part we talk about comparison, and then the next part we talk about how we differentiate each other. I think when we were younger, Alden was definitely I would say the smarter one. He's also generally more strategic at his approach compared to mine. I think the way I talk, the way I see things is really big picture, really visionary, really to the heart. And Alden is more calculated in his movements, how he approaches things. Hence, Alden can be seen more calmer, but no. The both of us is the way how we operate our brain is very different. Even though when it comes to solving the problem, the way we approach solving problems is very, very different. I knew that there was a difference between the way we do is, say, playing a game, right? How he goes about killing, beating the boss, or how I go out, beating the boss, it will be very different. However, there's one thing that we know. I know what he's gonna do, he know what I'm gonna do. And that's where the fight happens. The fight happens most of the time is because I know what pisses him off, and he knows what pisses me off, and then we just we see who starts first. And then,
Who willing to give up?
who willing to give up at the end.
And who normally gives in though? Just out of curiosity.
Take turns lor.
Take turns.
Take
Yeah.
turns lor.
Always we take turns.
Because I know, like, as a friend, right? Like, I've seen these kind of fights, right? It gets pretty physical. You guys
Yeah.
Hey,
beat the crap.
He gave me a chip
Yeah.
on my tooth. I gave him a chip on my tooth. You know?
They
Yeah.
they literally beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And as a friend, I was like, oh, why are they doing that? But what can I do? I just, like, as a friend,
Yeah, but when teacher come, you say no problem, no problem. Playing only. You playing only.
Yeah, I would say the word is that nobody can beat up my brother except me.
Yeah.
It's gotta be me.
Yeah. And I just want to, like, draw some, like, learnings and perspective from what both of you have said, right? And what really stood out from both of you. And I think you guys sort of agree that, okay, you definitely know what the strengths of and also the weaknesses, what you like and what you don't like of each other very well, right? And I think that should be and can be applied to not just brothers, right?
Your wife,
Partners, yeah. That's the point. Like, people that are close around you, or even your colleagues, right? If you have this kind of mindset, like, from the learnings growing up together, right? Actually, the same can be applied to people around your life. And if you actually do that consistent enough, of course you don't beat the crap out of people lah. Hopefully you didn't, like, bring that, beat your wife or anything. Yeah, that's yeah. Of course that's not what my point was leading to lah. Yeah, but essentially, like, if you actually practice that kind, right? I think life would be, wow, perfect. Okay, there's no such thing as perfect, but it will be more meaningful. Yeah, the relationships will be at a deeper and a more grounded level. And it also help with the business, right? I think both of you, I think naturally why you guys started business together and validate things, you guys know each other's strengths and weaknesses very well. Who does the execution more? Who does the more strategic thinking, the bigger picture? Yeah. So I think, that's pretty good. Yeah.
One thing I want to add on, most, like, when it comes to family and stuff, because you're so close, you don't value what your other family members think and all. But I think in this space specifically, I value a lot how Alden thinks to a specific thing, especially when I'm having problems. Then I'm telling him problems that I'm facing, and probably his work or maybe personal things. His insights value to me a lot because he knows who I am deep down, and he knows what are the weaknesses or what I don't see. That most of the time when it comes to strategy, or I ask him for advice or consultation, right, I would pay him tons of money just to get his insights because he knows exactly what I should do in specific. Yeah. Basically, he will just think like, idiot, you shouldn't be thinking this way. I would have done it that way. And I was like, well, I didn't thought about that, man. What the heck? Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to make a point that hopefully eventually when you find a partner for yourself, do you actually benchmark, like, okay, obviously, like how the way you actually respect and value their thoughts on, because they are supposed to know you as who you are, and it cannot definitely be like Alden, but they bring in a new perspective from their side. So that's just a point that I was thinking, like, when you mentioned that, I was like, I would also apply that to a partner, especially because you want to really know someone that really knows you, but not 100% like from Alden, or else it's not going to be special, right? Like, they bring their perspective from their mindset of them growing up and help you and guide them through. Yeah. I also wanted to ask, like, since we're like talking something sentimental and thing, so what, Alden, I'm going to start with you first. What do you actually appreciate and treasure the most from the relationship with Addie? And after that, Addie, you can share
Yeah,
to it?
first thing, definitely he's taller than me, so I appreciate that. The first thing about him, of course, he look quite lang zai also, so that means I also look quite lang zai, so I appreciate that about him as well. Yeah, I believe I appreciate a lot about him is because I do share the same friends with AD as well.
Yep.
So we do share friends' perspective, share as in being friends, not share friends. Okay, right. So really, yes, I do appreciate that from him as well, and actually I do appreciate from AD to always keep me in check in life as well. So sometimes that I see that okay, Eddie can do something that I can't do. I always try to strive myself to be at his level, because if he can do it, I should be able to do it too, right? Because we're both twins as well. And we normally, as we scale up in life, whosoever is better than one another, we know that we are basically twins. If you can do it, I can do it too. And this is how we actually get better and better every single day. And you don't necessarily have to have like twins to actually do that.
True.
You can have friends as well, right? If my friends can do it, I should be able to. Hey, if I have a problem, ask for help. So, and I know if there's any problem, I ask for AD, and definitely things will be solved almost immediately. If not, then I will make sure he helps me solve. Yeah, but I'll do the same thing for him, so that I definitely appreciate that for him as well. And like I said, when I look myself in the mirror, I don't see myself alone. I see myself as AD as well. So that I know that in life, when if someone were to beat me up and say you wait, I call second player to come in. So technically, it's two person living in life lah, I would say. So when I fall, I know that no, this is round one. There's always a round two beside me. So it gives me this kind of confidence that even though I fail in life, right, I got two lives. Yeah, right. Or seriously, if I were to, whether is it business, whether is it money or whatsoever, right? If technically it's like us cheating in life, right? Because people only got 24 hours, we have 48 actually. Yeah. So I think that is what I truly appreciate of Eddie as well. Yeah, it complements almost all factors of life. Yeah.
I think about the way how we do things is, I already mentioned about 48 hours. Like for example, if he's really busy with something and I did some assignments and he share assignment
Hey, what you gonna tell them?
right there, then he literally, he could be focusing on one assignment, focusing on
Let me share notes.
assignment, then we just share notes right there, and then and then when I was like reviewing his work, I said, why is he writing it this way? Just cancel it. I write it my way. So it isn't really copy, because I'm criticizing his work. He's going to be doing the same thing, and it becomes an original work after that. So it's nothing wrong, no. It's just that maybe the time span is maybe cut in half.
Yeah.
But
what were things that
I
that you appreciate about Alden?
I appreciate about Alden is because there are things that he's really good at, there are things that I'm not good at, that I have no confidence at all.
Okay.
So when Alden mentioned the part where if he can do it, I can do it too, it's very true. It's like when he started e-commerce business, I had no clue about e-commerce business. I was like, what the heck? That's why when he started that, I see he's having success, and like definitely I could do it too. And then I did it, I got success from that. But it wasn't the first thing that I would have done, you see. If it wouldn't be for him, I wouldn't have jumped in the game as well. Yeah. So another thing is, when it comes to rivalry, right? When it comes to rivalry, most people, when they compete with someone, they don't share tips that will give the other party an advantage over you. But for me and Alden, we share tips, secrets, like openly. We don't hold anything back. We want each other to succeed, so we can compete. You get what I mean? Compete in an equal level, that eventually at the end we will turn up as both winners. So I don't do anything specifically to hold him down. He don't hold things to hold me down. I think maybe we enjoy fighting a lot.
Yeah, I think it's in a way like competition actually makes you stronger. I do hold him down only to make sure that he go back up higher than before. Yeah.
And there's a saying, right? If the siblings don't really argue with one another, it's not really true siblinghood. Of course, in some case, because of the parenting and all, then it's very peaceful. But sometimes it's true that, heated arguments, the rivalry, that somehow when you grow older, you bond closer in some ways. Yeah. And I completely, because I myself have an older brother, right? So I completely resonate. Like sometimes when you want to do something and you look at someone that have done it, and I think for my case it's even more obvious. He's 1 year older, right? So exactly 1 year, I know that, oh, that is at least a level people will benchmark me against. So it could be stressful or what, but
Yeah.
it's a healthy kind of competition that you want to, that's the level that you want to achieve. Or if you get straight A's, you're like, oh my God, I need to get straight A's. Yeah. But you work towards it. And if you see him go into a good university, that kind, and then you slowly benchmark that kind of stuff. And then that makes you motivate. But I think the beauty for you guys is you guys walk hand in hand. And yeah, I think there's no other quote that I wanted. Like, good things really come in pairs. Like, yeah, and good friends also, yeah, sometimes do come better in pairs.
Wow, nice way to put it.
No, but I think I just touching upon, like, since Eddie also have touched on feeling reassurance when, you see someone, pushing you, and also you see someone can do it, and then you do it. And I'm actually a very firm believer of this. And it doesn't apply just for siblings. Sometimes, like, if I'm going through a job, a role, or a sales process, I feel like I cannot make it. Then you start thinking negative thoughts, right?
Yeah.
But it's very easy for me to make me think like, okay lah, there's like at least 1 million people that are doing and facing this, right? And they've already went through that. And once I tell myself that, like, I die also will find a way to go through it, even though I don't have the answer and I don't feel confident at all. I just do it lah. And you realize that, from that perspective, right, things do get better. You meet the right people that help you, and then you somehow go through it. Yeah. So I really, really agree, and I'm a keen believer that, you should always have someone to reassure yourself with, whether it's, your loved ones and stuff, or sometimes if you have no one, you just think somebody out there in different part of the world have done it, or people in the past have done it, and you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I think what other things you guys wanted to share? Like, is there any interesting stories as siblings, especially as identical twins, right? Like, any fun stories that you guys wanted to share?
Oh yeah, I have this one time. Yeah. Okay. Not once. It happens a lot. It's like, I think we get a fair amount of, like, as if we are famous out there, because you meet up somebody out in public, right? They're like, hey yo, it's a long time no meet, and I was like, whoa, yeah, a long time no meet. Actually, I have no clue who that person is.
Oh, okay.
I knew this person, knew my brother, and he really genuinely thought I was that person. Let me give you one scenario with a guy and another scenario with a girl. Okay, right. So we talk about a scenario with a guy. The guy came up at me. It's like, long time no talking. It's like, then it's like, high fives and everything, and grabbed me and stuff. I was like, okay, never mind. Then I was like, at the end of the entire conversation, I said, bro, actually, I'm not Alden, I'm Addie. And he was like shocked, and he pulled me on the side. He asked me, did I do anything wrong? Am I in trouble? Did you change your identity because you owe someone's money or something like that? Then I said, no, it's not. It's no. I said, I'm Alden's twin brother. He didn't believe me. He practically asked me to take out my IC to show different name, and he was like, he still didn't believe me. I said, tomorrow you go to office, you're gonna go and find Alden. The story with a girl is like, out of nowhere, somebody will just come out of nowhere and start hugging me, and I was like, oh, who's this girl? You feel like you are famous in one sense, like,
Okay.
people know you but you have no idea who they are. So it's like you are a celebrity somehow. So yes.
We back then also because of twins, right? That's a good story.
Yep.
Bad story also. Teacher whacked the wrong person. So yeah, that's a bad thing about twins also. So make sure you don't do anything bad. Okay, if not I also kena. My face look like you. Yeah. So it's all this slice of life that I think makes us proud about it as well, because we know that we are actually unique in this world as well. Yeah, and I technically it is my unique. What makes me unique now, I would say. So I'm not just only unique myself, he makes me unique as well.
Yeah. So you are part of each other's life, right? And
Yeah.
I think to end things off, right? Because now you guys are, working in separate ways. It's really different life phase, right? You used to spend so much time together. Probably sometimes you feel like there's no personal space growing up, right?
Yeah.
But now you actually have a lot more personal space, yeah. So how just walk through that process on how you guys are dealing, growing up, that process. Sometimes now you don't spend so much time with each other. Alden, by the way, just got married and is expecting a kid soon, so it's gonna be very, very different, right? So what's that mindset? I mean, not it's not a mindset thing. Like, what do you feel? And down the road,
You know,
like, yeah, what's your feeling?
You know the part when the dad walks the daughter down the aisle and he have to give the daughter away to the husband and stuff. Kind of like I walking down and give my other half to the wife. You know, that's kind of very
How you felt.
sentimental to me. It's like, I think that was makes me think that okay, now he has his own life, he has his own family. It's a bit different. The feeling was bittersweet, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like you really have to give your other half to someone else. I would say that. When I was younger, born in the same bed, seeing him every single time, we naughty at the same time. We stay up late playing games secretly without our parents know. And then after that, when we grow older, then we have different priorities in life. Things change. We still, I would say, consider that Alden is like my best friend. I still see him as such. It's just that we don't spend our time all the time together. It's like when I think Winjet, Reynard was with me in primary school when we had to leave. It hurts honestly. Your friends is not always with you, but by heart they were always there.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think
That's what he said lah, basically. So more or less I also echo the same thing as well. We all have our own life. Like for example, you had your own brother. I believe you guys used to stay in the same room, right?
Same
and
room,
then suddenly
same bed.
Yeah, then after that, at some point in life, you just have to separate lah. Can't always be staying in the same room, right? Because each of us have our own path to walk, but still family is family lah. Yeah lah. So I still love you, always do, always will. So yeah, you also always do, always will. So like it's brothers lah, it's family lah, right? So the bond will always be there no matter what happens. Yeah. So
I think with that we can wrap things up. Second episode. So this is very it's meant to be light-hearted, but it became quite
deep, right?
Deep, sentimental. But I mean, it's something relatable to everyone, not just identical twins. But why I decided to segment it into this way is because I thought it's such an interesting topic. It's not many of your friends are identical twins, so it's good to cover this from what stemmed from brotherhood, and then what Eddie talked about. I think your one half giving away. I think that's the beauty of life, right? It all comes in phases. But the good thing about life is the ones that matter to you most will always be around somehow, and you're always there from each other. It's just that you guys walking different path, but they always will be there. Like for us, different countries, man, doing different industries. But I mean, every now and then we treasure each other time, like once a year or few years one time, I would say. Like this. So I think with that, hope each and every one of you that are still listening, with that, treasure your friends, your family around you. It's the relationship that counts, the people around you that counts. So if you ever found this episode useful, make sure to share. The only way we grow the podcast is by you guys sharing. And do check us out on YouTube, like, subscribe. And with that, I think we conclude the
If you have any questions, put it in the comments.
On YouTube, Instagram, or whatever. But I think with that, I really wanted to conclude and thank you, Addie and Alden, for taking time, the friendship over the years. And with that, we conclude the Malaysian series. The next one is probably with Adrian. We're going to go back to our usual flow back in Hong Kong. So with that, see you guys the next time. Bye-bye.